Hello, welcome in. Today should be an interesting day. We'll be working on making neovim better. We're going to add something to my neovim workflow that I've been meaning to do. And so we'll get right into it here in just a few moments. So the problem that I have is I really want more contextual information about my specific buffers that I have opened. And so in this case, I have Lua plugins, dropbar, right? This is a specific file in this case that's open. And I kind of want these get symbols up here to be shown on the buffer level. I'm also hoping that these LSP, this is LSP, so this is like a warning. It's like, hey, or info, it's like, hey, you might want to know about this, but it's not an error. Is using the Lua line plugin right now, and so I want to consolidate that. And what you'll know about this is if we like add a line or two, and we make this unused again, and more importantly, if we were to split this and show something like, let's see, how about this one? We'll see that there's, let's see, maybe we make something unused. Local thing. You'll see one Lua line item here, and then if I switch, you only see one. So at this point, there's one in one file, and there's another in another file, and I'd expect to know the difference. And same thing with this. This is like a new file, so it would be nice to know. So I'll spend the time to just start working on this. Chat. Feel free to say hi in chat. It's been a few weeks since I've live streamed. In fact, it would be helpful. Hey, there's Andres. What's going on, man? Thanks for hanging out. Handful of people on now. Awesome. And so what we'll do now is we'll start working on it. So to my knowledge, it is a custom source. And the way that that works is you can define it, get symbols, custom source, and then this bar allows you to assign names and icons and symbols themselves and all of that stuff. And so what we'll ultimately end up doing is adding get and LSP. Now I'm going to test the LSP one as is. I think it does something different than I expected. So there is an LSP. How do they actually want me to? What's up, Garrett? Garrett's here. So what I want to actually do is figure out where this code goes. I guess I'll just create a separate module and we'll just do a little proof of concept. So like, let's go ahead and close that. And my neovim config, probably like a utils thing, we'll say custom dropbar sources, right? And we'll put this guy in there. I'm thinking that this needs to be lazy false for now. Verify. Required for custom sources. There also is probably a chance that I need to do setup or options becomes function, right? I'm guessing, oh, and this should work as well. How is it formatted? Function, config, config function setup. All right. So I'll probably start with that. Function, and then this is not right. All right, there we go. I always get this wrong. So we have a config, we have our function, and then we end, right? Yeah, that's right. Let's clean all this up. All right, so there we go. So then what is it complaining about? Oh, I think I'm going to kill all this. Ah, my keyboard's freaking out a little bit. Let's go ahead and start fresh. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Config function. Am I missing something important? Function. And then I ultimately want to do what? I want, wow, what a mess. So we need to like call setup, right? Usually it's setup, yeah, like this. So sources go into this. We're going to set up, and then we're going to end. Was it just a bad? It was probably just a bad line of code. All right. So we probably don't need to do this for now. When this gets called, we use it. So this is custom source. And then sources.lsp, sources. Yeah, I don't think get work exists. Hello. And dropbar, yeah. So when we move this, this is LSP. LSP is all this stuff. And that's not what we're really going for. Riley, I see your question. Why do I need a dropbar? So dropbar is showing me what you're seeing up here when I have a buffer open. It's just useful to me. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one because it's not very helpful. I find it helpful to have the relative path of the file. So like this is where the file is in this project. And if I have another file open at the same time, we can see them side by side, right? So I know this one's dropbar and this one's DAP. I don't really like the tab approach. It becomes really useful when there's splits. But for me, when I switch between files quickly, I want to be able to know what file I'm on. And so we're just working our way toward a custom piece of data here, which in this case, look at this. We have our icon, We have another symbol. So it's just literally assigned like this. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be our custom source. Cool. This new custom source will be get symbols, right? Or I'll probably just call it get. I don't know if there isn't a get. We tried it. So we're, instead of getting symbols, we need to actually get the values out of this. There's a drop-down menu option, which is cool, but I'm not too worried about that today. Click events. What I do want to do is I want to fetch the buffer data. So let's see if there's like a useful path toward understanding that. Oh, no, we're not trying to fork it. So let's see if anyone has done custom. We'll just read the source code most likely. Highlight only current file part. No, I mean, we'll just do it, right? So let's do dropbar, custom highlights, custom path. All right, so this is an example where they take this stuff, right? So that's what I was looking for. And we're going to go ahead and have dropbars. Oh, let's try that again. Dropbars source code open. So if we were to search for get symbols, we have this little chart which we should probably read. Here we go. So the buff is the buff number. Right. So if that's the code, we probably could read the source code from other places, but basically this one's going to be to do get diff of file on save, buff post. Extract, add, remove. And then extract into separate symbols. Decide what with new file, right? Because we have files that end up being untracked, and so an untracked file would be something that needs to be handled. So we have the buffer. I wonder if I need context 7. I'm less worried about the cursor position. I think this will be a file-wide thing. If I have a buff number, neovim, how would I find the file, the location of the file using Lua? I don't know yet. I'm kind of exploring here still. We probably could read the built-in sources. So he's going to have sources here. We initialize the source. That's really great. I'd love to field get. Is this going to be red, integer, integer, integer? Yeah, sweet. So that's sort of step one. A little type safety should help. And then they're going to echo some things out. So that's like the really basic stuff. So now, hi, what's going on? Hi, I know, man, it's been some time since I've been on here. I remember you. So this is going to be maybe a little bit more misleading. I feel like this would be the most useful one, perhaps. What model do we want to use here? Oh boy, we can just use Claude for now. Spend a little money for the live stream. Source that fetches data and extracts number of lines read, lines added and removed. All right, so let's see if Claude can help me with that. And in the meantime, we will read it. So we do get buff get path. It's all local functions. I wonder if I need to pull any of this stuff in. So we're going to have like configs and bar. Good question, Riley. I mean, this is someone's existing plugin. We're creating a custom source. I think they've done a good job. It's very performant. It's got some cool features I haven't even shown off. Like if you click on the path, which I don't really, let's be honest, I don't click on stuff very much, but this is interactable, which is kind of cool. But overall, we're going for just extending something, not having to write it all from scratch. I did my research. This source doesn't yet exist on this plugin. I can't imagine this will take very long. I just have to get my feet on solid ground because I've never looked at this code before. So you guys are looking at this for the first time, just like I am. So there's a little bit of exploratory in the first part of this stream. And then once we land on what this is doing and we know how it works, we'll be able to use that to our advantage to actually figure out what's going on. So this is getting me the buff path. So this is the buff name, and then we match on that expression, which is interesting. But the main thing that I want to look at, there's a lot of symbols in here, aren't there? Is, let's just go ahead and read what they said. So, main entry point is get symbols, reads the current buffer path with this, normalizes the path with fs normal. So fs normalize does a little bit of string manipulation, which is what I was expecting. Builds a hierarchy by walking the parent childs until it reaches the root. Converts the path to the symbols. using the convert. Yeah, so this is exactly what I'd expect. I might fork this and just create my own source in the plugin itself. That could be useful. But let's start with where we are. So I want to do this kind of thing, right? Plus 15 minus 3, that's what we're going for. Hey, awesome. I'm glad you're using Sesh. I use it every day, all day. Right. So we're going to do run this kind of thing. Yep. Then we're going to get the symbols. Yep. We'll add an icon. We'll get the symbols. So, I mean, that's the code, right? So this part, I need to actually call it and make it do it, because that's the part that's not really mentioned. Where's configs used? So the file path goes from here. Convert gets symbols. Okay, so the file path is the buff number thing, and then the get stats are called by the file path. Yeah, see, Garrett gets it. He's a Sesh user too. And then if we have stats, we're going to convert the symbols, and that function is what ends up being returned. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a fine enough start. I wouldn't say, why does it call configs? That's the part that throws me off. I might just call this get.lua. Is it just me returning this, right? So we're not going to have used all of this yet. I realize that. We don't have to define a jump. I don't think it matters. I don't care for this indirect thing going on here. But that's the idea. This is the file. Give me the stats. If I have them, it's going to return that. And if not, then we're just not going to do anything. All right, and so how would I implement to I think we're just going to run some sort of system command. So we'll do a simple get checker, and then we're going to do all the conversion stuff. Seems fine. Maybe we'll keep all this for now. All right, and so then let's go ahead and, should we use Cloud Code? I don't know. I think I could just start working with, yeah, config is not used. That's hilarious. I figured it wasn't. So then the sources come from where? LSP, configs. So this dropbar.sources is the one I was looking at, yeah. We want to see, how do they instantiate it? Oh, I guess they just do a loop. I love this approach because it's so much simpler. So, I mean, it might all break. It might all fall flat on our faces. For now, we would just say sources.get. And this is like to hoping. Holy smokes. Something happened. It actually returned a value. That's great. Cool. I like it. So we have something. I don't know if this something is actually useful right now. And the best way that we're going to be able to configure this is some sort of traffic cone thing on Git. So they did git log this. This is where like unit testing would be great. Is there any sort of test? Test. Oh, that's just a basic test file. Worked first try, Andres. That's it. That's it. I can cancel the stream, right? That's it. We just go home. All right. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to go plugins. We'll do some, let's copy this. Let's get, it was log numstat pretty path. So it's like git log numstat. I don't know what this -1 does. Pretty. This command doesn't make the most sense to me, but let's work backwards. Dropbar.lua. Is this the right command? I don't think this is right. I'd expect a better number to come out though. Expected output, yeah. We could do like git log numstat -1. -1 is like the last commit. So then how would I get the numstat of a file's unstaged? Unstaged? It's been a while since I've done this kind of Git work. I think I can just call git diff on it, can't I? Right. So there, that's what this is saying. I can just call git diff. But there is no diff to it. Am I passing the wrong file in or something? So we have dropbar.lua. So does that mean config nvim lua plugins dropbar.lua? It's like it doesn't want to return anything useful. That's so weird. Why doesn't it want to return it? Yeah, this is what I'd expect. Isn't returning anything, but when I run the command with just, it returns all changes, including. Yeah, this is so weird. I wonder if there's like a man get numstat, or do I have to do man get diff numstat? Yeah, I mean, so we start here, there's the diff, it's a lot. Name only. We should see dropbar, which we do. And then present working directory, right. We would show the top level. So can this only be ran in the root? Relative path. But we know that the Lua function that we wrote here is returning something. I don't know what the file path is. Andres, are you familiar with any Lua development in this setting? Because it'd be great to like stack trace this stuff or to use the good old debugger, right? That would be nice. I'm just not very well versed in a developer ecosystem for this kind of development. So if these are the stats, what I could actually do is I could go to config, tmux, plugins, gitmux. Is it gitmux? So gitmux. Wow. Gitmux. I don't know if I have this here. But we have, all right, so if we go back to this, we'll be able to figure out how it designs this. Div short stats. Yeah, he uses short stats. So gitmux is, those that are wondering, is how this stuff is shown at the top of the screen. And the idea now is I want an individual file to be shown. So do I go to open code? They recently did it. I have to find someone who's done it. So the open code, if we go back to dot files and we go to open code, we'll see that we can see file changes here. So we can see changes, including the drop bar. Drop bar is doing it. Plus 56, minus 7. That's the idea. That's what we're going for. This exact screen here is ultimately what I want to do. So we could just scan the source code for open code files, file system is the git diff of each file in the file picker. So I want to find Is she going to use a package? Because that would not be fun. Diff output. Numstat. Well, so they're doing numstat again. And like dot files, numstat is this. Should I just parse the value? Because that would be less work. Wouldn't it? All right, but let's go back to this. So we saw that I don't think I want to parse this if I don't have to. I'd rather get. It was like this, wasn't it? So that won't work. But if I do a relative path, that also doesn't work. Dang. That's funny. Numstat sounds like a name a middle schooler would call you. What is it, like numbskull is like an insult? I don't know if I'll get flagged for that one. I think I've said worse things on live stream, but yeah, that's funny. So I guess numstat is our path forward. And so far in the dropbar plugin, we have this log numstat. So if I was just to quit this and go back, we'd see numstat is 0 here because it's a new file, right? So if it's a new file, we would do something different, which we talked about. Excuse me. But in like dot files, oh, let's get rid of that. Dot files. Let's what's going on? Dropbar get mux open code neovim config. We get 13. So that's just straight up the wrong value. I wonder where 13 is coming from. Do we even have a 13? Like there's no 13 value. So that's just some random thing that's happening. So then that means in dropbar, we probably don't want to do this. Who's doing it already? I feel like Lualine is doing it already. So when they do a buff write enter and a buff write post, they update the arguments, get sign count, they get the buffer. Here we go, this could be interesting. Don't show the get diff when the current buffer doesn't have a file name, right, okay. And then here, we do this sort of diff no pager. Mini diff might be it. Yeah, I mean they all someone's doing this already. We just have to parse what's going on. So the data gets passed in and then they parse it based off the digits. And then mod and new get counted based off of which command? The data. All right, so this data comes from standard out. So what is this tool that they're building? Diff args. All right, explain how the so then we update it, right? So update is just passing it through. So this is the get buff number. They're just saying don't show this here. They're just like nullifying it out if it starts with if it equals 0. All right. And so what are they saying here? The directory of the current file, and then the file name only gets passed to diff parsing logic. So then there's an actual hunk parser. It's also funny to say. And all the values get pulled in, and then there's the stats. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. So you'd be able to call this, you'd be able to call this, and then you'd be able to set up an auto command if you wanted. Well, we're just setting up our own source. Create auto group. Yeah. So it's this part here. They're doing this stringed format of this command. So we could take this guy and do something instead. They get away with just this generic command here. Where does it end up getting called? Here, job start. So it's a standard out and a non-exit. I do like this. This is nice. I wish there was an easier way to actually see that this code is what its output is. All right. So then that's like this. Oh, and then this is our parser. So we're taking the values and we're returning stats. Do I need an extra end? Local parse. Oh boy. Old count, new count, return stats. So what actually gets returned? Added, modified, and removed. So that's what we want to use. I guess I'll just leave that alone for now, and then we're not going to convert the symbol. I kind of want these to be their own thing. So do I do that? Here's stats. It's applied. Where does this end up getting called? I don't know if they end up telling me where this actually happens. Okay. Create a simple, well, let's see. I kind of want to create 3 different symbols, so why don't I just do that now? we know what's going to be returned here. So instead of get stats on the file buffer, we're going to get file diff, file path, so that's this, right? That's this. So that should return a callback, right? And so that's the part that throws me off a little bit. So you end up, when you use it, it calls this function. Oh. Okay. So then I don't need it to be a callback. I just need it to return the value. So why don't we just change it? Let's just change it to do what I want. So we're getting the diff. On exit, we're callback. I need to like return the value. It just returns output, yeah. So that should give me down here a table. Add type definition of what's returned. Oh, I think we're going to go back to this. All right, so that's the actual stats. And then we're going to parse it. So the parsing of it is parsed stats. Convert. I think this is the part that throws me off. We don't need to do this. We need to drop the symbols onto like a table. Buff win name. The parse stats are added, modified, removed. This is just the diff. This is stats. And then if there are stats, we don't want to do that. We want to return a table of tables. So the first icon will be, we'll start with this, plus. I guess it'll be added symbol. And maybe we do pass all this in and then return it. If not stats, oh, I see. I want them to be different and I want the colors to be used. So let's verify in neovim here we have the name highlight, the icon highlight. So it's going to be this kind of thing. That's kind of what we're going for here. That will be here. So some sort of local add symbol. And then I'm curious, get sign. What am I using right now? I don't think it matters. Get signs.nvim. I should have it in lazy. Mini.diff. We were just talking about this, weren't we? It's just one file. Highlights. Are these his highlights? Okay, so he has these. We would add different support for different add specific support for mini. The thing I've liked about dropbar is there aren't a lot of dependencies, so part of me doesn't want to necessarily cause a lot of problems here. We could set some reasonable defaults, and then I would use probably Capuchin to assign colors that I like. Now, he's going to have done this, has core diff highlight. Oh. That's cool. I've never seen this. Have you guys ever seen this code? There's core diffs. So it'd be added, changed, removed. So it'd be added. So it's not one of those things that I think it's going to parse out to 0. And then if it's not in a Git repository, we're going to detect that as a feature and just make sure that we get rid of it. Capuchin? Capuchin. Capuchin? Is it one of those words that the more that you say it, like it feels wrong? Like it feels like I'm not saying the word right? Perhaps. All right, so we're gonna get rid of all this. All right. What is this lowercase diff added? I don't know. Highlighted. I'm gonna leave this here. I get to do whatever I want because I'm the coder here. This is sloppy. You get to watch me work in a programming language I haven't worked in very much. All right, so then the symbol is going to be plus added name added. We're not going to do an on click for now, but it is going to be assigned to that. Remove symbol, modified symbol. Was it changed? Changed. So add removed, changed. Let's just go ahead and use the same language. And then we're going to add all of this to all of that. And we're going to see if we just blew everything up, because maybe we did. And maybe I need to fork dropbar and start doing some stashing and some committing and stuff like that, because I'm kind of working in the Wild West here. Very much the Wild West with this just blank file that I've been writing from. All right, so let's just see if we just completely destroyed. All right, we got a callback error. We're off to a reasonable start. So the neovim config, we know this file. All right. Function call errored. Attempting to index field name. Oh, I see, a number value. So we can't do that. That's fine. We got to convert it. So the value is actually not really the right value even yet. So stats.added. We're going to format it or 0. We're gonna, can I just keep that simple? I don't know. Let's redo that. Boy, these callbacks are just ruthless. So that's fun. It's gonna keep happening until, damn, it's one of those things that like you want to enabled false. Yeah, sure. All right, so let's do that. Name equals changed. I feel like it should be stats.modified. It's probably too complicated, but we can try to re-enable that. And we have 3 symbols, and they work. Well, at least they don't look bad. They don't necessarily look good either. So instead of 3 different symbols, we're going to assign highlight colors to Are we going to assign 3? This looks funky. We do not need them to be separate. So yeah, very weird. Consolidate these names into one, these symbols. To one, and remove the name highlight and manually add the same into the new single name property on a single. I don't know if it knows what I mean by this, but we're like, if it exists, yeah, then we're gonna format it with the highlighting group basically. Although I love how we don't have any stats yet, so that's fun. So this is going to be their own, Yeah, I guess this is the highlight group is what it's recommending here. Get symbol. All right, well, let's see if we just like completely blew everything up. Yeah, so that's not how it works. It's claiming that we can do this. Is there like a newer version? They're saying that this would work. If highlights added is greater than 0, I mean, I feel like that's the part that's screwy and not at all what we're going for. I'd like to get better at this. I have a value called the added this feels weird. Can I do something simpler like this? Ah, stupid autocomplete. All right. We're gonna string that format with all of this. We make this better over time. So weird. That seems like an oversimplification. This must not be how it works. All right, let's see if documentation will help me get there. I may not get very far today. I feel like there's just me learning this ecosystem. Maybe some of you are finding this interesting. Maybe added is wrong. Maybe we need, well, either way, wouldn't it apply the highlight group, and the highlight group would be, you know, some funky color or the wrong color or no color? I mean, I don't think if it doesn't have it, it won't run it. All right, so we're gonna like start here, and then we'll try get stats. Added, what did we say it was? If has core, well, let's see. I'm at 11, yeah. If has this and added. Oh, let's get out of here. Oh, we're back in here. All right, so let's go back to our config. Oh, well, it might help if we actually update the right guy. Yeah, that doesn't work. That's not what it's supposed to do. Is it a single? It is a single. I get this. It's like a string interpolating thing, right? But it's not doing what we think. Like, to me, that's what this is. But it also doesn't seem to care. Is it because name is one of those things that it's so simple that it can't accept? It's like a deep extend, and maybe the extended table is just like not a formatable thing. So if that is the case, then I can't do what I want. I never got the symbols to be correct. So I feel like that was sort of not a lost cause, but I was kind of going in the wrong direction there. If at the very, very basic level, we went back to this, we would follow it and we would see that it had its own highlighting applied. Hello was applied how? Let's go back to our config and let's just see. It's a keyword. Icon has its own highlighting. All right, well then let's see. Oh, little line. Was it get signs? Look at that. This is what I had set up. This is that dictionary that someone mentioned earlier. Who was it? Yeah, Riley was mentioning mini diff, but there may be something simple here. If we don't worry about the colorization for now, and we were to just say that I want to do this, and instead of returning these values, that we would look at getting the stats. Oh, it's unused. All right. get signs stats. Otherwise, how does this decide what's being returned? A table. Get signs stats. So we'll just simplify all this down. All right. Oh, of the diff. Added, modified, removed. Added, modified, removed. So what we do, we say added, modified, reviewed. Is that like a reasonable starting point? Or are we going to get an error? That's our symbol. Do I have it? Yeah, I do have it. Get icon. We've got an error. Local. Oh, I see. So stats is just not coming up with anything. Oh, because I'm not using get signs. All right, well then let's just use get signs. All right. So get signs comes back. There you go. So that would be the cheap way of like a get signs source. And I think that we would just not get all the stuff that we wanted. But look at how long it takes. Oh, now it's not even working. Yeah, that feels disappointing. And I'm still not convinced that the highlighting groups can be overwritten in this specific scenario. So that's a get signs stats. They're now accurate, but it's incredibly slow. So get signs stats shouldn't be doing very much. It should just very quickly and this won't work because we should probably have a fallback on this function that just says like, hey, if you can't do anything, then don't. If stats, yeah. Oh, why did it do that? What is happening? Am I in like... Oh, it's because the plugin is screwing up. Dang. So like, we gotta keep doing this. This is crazy. Dropbar. Enabled false. Funny. All right, yeah, it's gonna screw up. So we're saying if stats, then do this. Right? So that just straight up didn't do anything. Interesting. But do I need get symbols to always do something? And that was like freaking out on me. Bad argument for the formatting on that line. Oh, so it's not going to always be able to, it's not going to have all of those values at every time. But that's what we were going for today's stream. So if I was to do it the way I wanted to, let's get out of that. All right, we're going to go get mux. No. We're going to go tmux config. There's a getmux file here. We have modified. So these are all my values. And then in dropbar, I would want to use those values instead. So this is modified. We want to do that. Yeah, that's the idea. So modified, added, and removed. And we gotta what? Do we need to re-enable dropbar? No, it's enabled. All right. Oh, and then this stuff is all bad. No icon. Yeah. That seems correct, right? 50 and, yeah, 50 and 7. And if I was to add a new line, look at that. It changes pretty quickly. So this is like a get signs specific. If we wanted this to play nice and we wanted the colors to work, then we would use the symbols. We could drop it in. We could just drop it in as a custom source, and then the dependencies on my end. I'm not yet at a place where I would be able to contribute this. So it would be if stats. I still think I want to do like if stats.add is greater than 0, then we would do this would be modified. I screwed up there. I don't know how to see which one it is. There we go. So there's icon. There's name is modified. And then name. Where is all my typing? We had it before. Icon, highlight, name, stats.modified. So, dang, this is a lot. All right, and then what's up? We need this to close. And then we need to end it. And then we're not supposed to return. Maybe there's another end that's supposed to be here. There we go. So it's one of those things that's like, we want to add if removed, if modified. Oh, I see. I screwed myself up there, didn't I? This is that symbol. And then it's modified. So added, removed, and then what did we say? This was about added, changed, removed, added, changed. What is it? This one, changed. All right, cool. I don't really want to mess with this today. I want something simple in an hour and a half, and then in the future, perhaps I'll be able to get. All right. We didn't even end up using buff, did we? Buff is unused as well. So we didn't get the file path, we just got get signs stats. And those were, if we have that, oh, I should have done a get signs stats. If added is greater than 0, then we're going to do that. If it's greater than 0, we're going to do that. If it's greater than that, we're going to do that. This goes away. And then this isn't logic that makes sense right now, I know. So we will figure out the right way to do this. I think it's one of those, like, if no get signs, and then instead of doing it this way, what we're going to do is we're going to say local added equals get Assign stat added is greater than 0 and drop this guy in, or nil, I think is what I'm going to go for here. So we're going to do the same with removed and changed. So I think if I pass a nilly value, it might be fine. Because we're going to return added, removed, changed. And I think these need commas to separate them. And this is my get symbols. And is that it? My get symbols is going to, let's see, is anyone chatting? Wrong value and added symbols, yeah. I think I got them all right now. I know you just said that. Added, removed, changed, modified, removed. Yeah, these all look right now. Maybe they weren't right. I knew one of them was wrong. All right, so that's that. So now, let's go to our config, and it's just gonna like pop up if it's there, or error out if it can't find it. Attempting to get in, oh, of a number value, right. So we're gonna format all of these. Are stringified. Use human readable string. What does that mean if it does do that? D3, there we go. No. I want commas in standard USA English. Something like that. Format reverse G sub. Ugh. That's a lot. All right, so we'll leave that alone for now. And let's try that again. It's gonna crash and burn on me. 50. Yeah, 50's right. If it returns nil, I don't know if this is technically valid. So we added 50. Added 50. Oh, I don't have an icon. Why am I losing my icons? After I rewrote it, yeah. Actually, we're going to do nf awk diff. And then removed. So the thing is, any of these three values might be nil, only add to a table if they are not nil and put them. Oh my God, type, I can't type. this copy? Weird. I'm learning some strategies here. I have plenty of ways I do it in the languages I know. If this, then insert, then insert, then insert, then return result. Yeah. So it's all tables in Lua, right? I think the whole language is just tool. Tool and tool and tool. Ah. So now I'm conditionally adding the ones only as I need them. There we go. Now, for some reason, this color is different than this color. I'd have to play around with that and figure out if I need to override the default values. But since I'm using get signs, I should probably use get signs highlighting. I would imagine that makes the most sense. So let's go to that again. Get signs. Whoa, what is happening? Attempting to, okay. Number with no. So that means added equals added and. Can I stack ands? I think I can in this language. But I'd like to extend this if I can get used to the logic and like get better at writing this. I'd like to like deal with untracked files, potentially deal with if I've moved a file, just as a simple indicator to say, hey, this was moved. That would actually be really helpful. I like that. It's really helpful. All right. And then our added, removed, changed. I guess I'll go to neovim config, catpuccine. Are you ready for this, Atticus? Catpuccine. And then we'll do something simple like added equals removed. What do we say it was? Changed, right? Hey, so I would probably, I've contributed to the Capuchin library before. I probably should add that. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, I'd consider that a win for the day. This is a get signs specific thing. I will probably extract that into my plugin. Make a diff out, not a diff, make like a snippet out of it or something, because I don't see this being practical. Yeah, I don't see this being practical if it's only get signs. Or I would write the whole thing to say, if you are using get signs and it's enabled, then you're going to use it. So something to think about. But here's the thing that I was excited about. I want to be able to do something like this. I want to open up another file. And this file is hopefully going to show 3 lines have been added. And this line is going to show 50 lines have been added with 7. So this idea here of like knowing the get level diffing it doesn't work with Lua line. Look, if I switch to this, Lua line changes. If I switch to that, Lua line changes. I didn't want that. I specifically wanted that no matter how many things were visible, that we could see all of it. Now, I'm going to do something crazy here. Are you ready? I have this, what is it? Xargs. I do an Xargs on the diffed values. And this should have opened, did it not? Weird. These are all the files that have changed. I should be able to open them. I've used this before. Weird. No? Very odd. Why the heck is it doing it that way? I've been able to open multiple files in the past. Let's see, how many buffers do we have? Let's just open a few more then. So I know I have multiple files now that are diffed. And so what I want to do, oh, and we got some more errors. Attempted to index local stats on nil value. So if not, no. That should have been fine, shouldn't it have? Weird. So this is definitely not done. We got more to do apparently. Let's get rid of our custom source. This guy isn't being used. Custom source is distracting. You think neovim like crashed on me? Oh, no, and oh no, that's like, dang, I screwed this all up. The undo should still work. All right, there we go. So dropbar has all these changes. So now if we open up multiples that have changes in them, I have this diff, split diff into 2 rows. Is that not working? Dang. Well, we're off to a start. That's what I'll say. We're off to a start. So now if I was to say I wanted to delete a line, it's going to probably treat that as not added, yeah. So let's just go to like LSP config. I want to remove a few lines. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like, it's pretty immediate too. I'd actually say this is probably faster than what's being shown up here, which is interesting. This is interesting. All right, so then Lua line, get signs. This is my get signs guy. The diff replaced with Oh, that's not right. Replaced with dropbar. Cool. So it'll ultimately go away. The next plan is to have this guy, the unused LSP symbol counter, which should be LSP doc symbols. Diagnostics to do something similar. I don't think it will be as tricky because we sort of had to work by proxy around neovim's logic to get to the get logic. But I'm going to use this. I don't think there's anything to change other than maybe move some code around or maybe make it cleaner. I could ultimately just drop this in to my config. Do you guys think that's a good idea? Who's still hanging out with me? We got 4 people still on hanging out. Cool, we had 66 people come through. That's fun. Okay, so I would say we should for now move the code around, get a reasonable response. And if I leave it all in my dot files, that'll be simple. And we took the effort already to, let's see, I'll probably do the same order as them. Is get signs always doing the same order? I think they are. All right, so then that means we're going to do this, we're going to get symbols, we're going to add these together, and then we're going to conditionally insert them, and that's the definition. And then the source itself was assigned in our neovim config dropbar file. Custom source, right? So then the fact that that's still there means that I should be able to rip this let's get symbols. This isn't get symbols, this is, yeah, get symbols. All right, so this is my get symbols. All right. Get symbols, get symbols, get symbols, and then this ultimately gets assigned to a custom source with a function called get symbols. So this whole thing is get signs stats. And get signs stats needs to have this function wait, hold on. Get symbol function, get symbol function, get stats, local get signs, local custom source. That's right. I don't know why the code is freaking out on me so much. This is a local variable. And what? This is not. Oh, I see. We need another end somewhere. or we have too many. Config, and too many, not enough. Why is this freaking out on me? Get sign stat. Is this the same problem we had last time? Oh, it's probably this. Okay, so we need that. That's definitely the wrong function call. We had this custom source with get symbols, and it returns what we want. Yeah, that's right. So then what the heck is going on? Close the bracket where? Another one? So that's that. And it's all valid. Config bar custom source get sign stat does this. Is it get symbol or is it function? It's probably function. This is a function that needs to end. Yeah, so it's different. All right. Get symbol equals function. That we found it. We found it. Hey, thanks. All right, so then that's it. We have add that for now. For now, I think I'm going to do what they've done here. We've got changed, added, removed. So this should work, right? This should just do what it's supposed to do. All right, cool. Sweet. I guess this custom source is just a proof of concept. Is the bar being used? It is, yeah. That's how we're assigning it. All right, cool. Well, then that's our get sign stats. Is it possible? I think we'll leave all that here. And then maybe we'll just, is there a more concise way to write this? We are repeating ourselves a bit. There might be an opportunity for a loop. They are okay. Symbols, and then a for loop. I don't love this. This is weird. Prefix? What is this prefix? Yeah, see, it's making up stuff. All right. I could loop through these and only add them when, but they're called, but it's pretty literal. It's not hard to read. It's just a little bit more verbose than I probably need it to be. We'll add the few line breaks around the guards and things like that. Maybe we will leave that there. Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. Is this going to be typed? Yeah, it is. Cool. So we get what we'd expect there. I like it. Maybe I could do it directly. Yeah, I probably could. But if stats added, then end table. Oh, yeah. You're right. We could move all this up and we don't have to do it twice. Right, so here's our stats. And then here we're going to return the stats. I like that. It's just a simple little like if this added and this, then table.insert, what was it, stats? Yeah, table.insert stats, this thing. We literally just say and do that, right? We don't even have to deal with table.insert this item into that. Yeah, this is cleaner. And I don't think I need to assign anything to a variable then. We'll figure that out second. Table insert stats. Man, I haven't live coded in a while and I'm using a different keyboard, so my fingers are a little bit I promise I'm a better coder in private. It's always a little bit more nerve-wracking when other people are watching. I will have to say, from my own experience. So it's one of those things that like, it's going to be like a if get signs added. Oh no, it's going to be if this and this, then insert. Is this valid? Then if added and added is greater than 0, then do that, please. All right, cool. If I love how it really doesn't want to do the same thing. If then remove, if modified, if changed. Come on, you stupid thing. Fine, I'll do it myself. If this and that, then end. Goodness, Copilot is not being very useful right now. All right, and then if we go back, we should get this. All right, sweet. This is literally what I wanted. I'm so glad that it's working. I'm really glad. And then we're gonna go to, since it's working there, we're gonna go here, and we're gonna get rid of git, and we're going to quit that. Yeah. Boy, so get signs is the solution today. I like to think that there could be a solution from mini diff. And in the case of all of these, we could probably come up with a snippet or export this into a module or something, and like people could use it. My intent is to push this up tonight. So if I push this, you will dang, all right, let's get rid of that. Let's just kill tmux. So when I have a lot going on, a lot of buffers open, a lot of sessions open, because I use sesh, which is a session tmux manager that not everyone here might not know of, but I'm the creator of that, and so it makes it really easy so that when I want to go back in, I can kind of take a breath, figure out what's going on in my life. I'm not really concerned about having lost any work because, you know, files are saved. And buffers don't really mean anything to me, not substantially, so I can throw them away pretty easily. And then we'll go back to like dot files. So dot files, I have a new file picker called fffiles, fff.nvim. It's really great, and so it will automatically, sesh automatically opens my file picker in neovim for any new project that I open or any new session. And then this new file picker is pretty cool because it has these git diffs on the side, and it's claiming to be very good at, well, first I like the presentation of it. I like that these paths are put after the file name, and I like that the diffing is shown here so we can see like new files have been added. So just overall the whole experience is great, and then it sorts it by what you've been using. So in this case, if I were to open up, you know, FFF and dropbar, right, and we can even put them side by side, we'll see that it sorts by like recently used. It also prioritizes things based off of buffers and based off of git diffs, and all sorts of like calculations are made. What I would like is for the numbers that we saw here, which we're not seeing now. Oh, because it's all staged. It's like a reset, right? Okay. Cool. So we can see, right, we can see the difference here. Oh, interesting. So we'll have to play around with this. It seems like a little bit of funkiness, and we end up with the wrong values when we switch between files. So I was concerned that the global thing that was assigned was not going to be right. So this isn't a perfect solution yet. This is still buggy. But I spend a lot of my time with one thing open at a time. So for now, it's going to be somewhat valuable, but I need to realize that with splits, it's probably not going to stay accurate. So and there may ultimately be a better way to do this. I think this isn't the best way to do it. But it is almost immediate. Look at that. Look at how quickly it knows the value. So that feels really good, that it's like instantaneous. So I think I'm going to call this a day. So we're going to update a couple things. So let's new add built-in diff highlight groups to cat. I think I spelt this wrong. And then we're gonna add get signs dropbar source. Cool. So, I mean, I pushed that, and if anyone wants to mess with this, you're welcome to look at this. There's a link. So Andres, for file picking specifically, I'm using FFF, and for, you know, like grepping, like string matching in a project, I'm using Telescope still. I use Telescope for quite a few things still, like command picker. So if I want to pick a command for neovim, I use Telescope. Finding things live grep, I use Telescope. So Telescope is still a pretty core piece of my functionality. But I'm finding FF to be very fast. This is a very fast tool. And its smart sorting is very effective. It's very good. And then the diffing here on the side is like a bonus. I'm really a fan of having the extras here. So yeah, that's it. That's the stream. If you'd like, I recommend people go to my website if you're not familiar with the stuff I do. I'm going to probably add a projects tab up here soon so people can see what projects I've been working on. But like keyboards, we were just talking about it. I got this new keyboard. So if you're curious about what boards I'm using, these are the ones. This is the new board, which I think has been fun to play around with. It's got electronic key switches. And then if you want to join my Discord server, at the top and bottom of the website, you can click that little Discord button, and we talk about neovim and tmux and macOS and development and all sorts of other things, even keyboard stuff sometimes. So if you want to join conversation, join me there. I do plan on live streaming more. I don't know how much Lua development I'll do. I want to do some more Go development with Sesh, and I have some projects that are going to complement Sesh really well that I want to work on. I'm also doing some 3D modeling. I also got into Obsidian development recently. So the note-taking app Obsidian, I've started building custom plugins, and they've become very valuable to me, really useful to me. Some of the similar principles that I have around minimalists and keeping things simple and having contextual smart data in front of me at all times. So hopefully I might find a way to create some sort of Obsidian vault that is like less sensitive, right? Because all the notes of my life, there's a lot of information there that I don't need to share with the internet. So there's a little bit of an obstacle there I got to figure out. But I think it'll be fun to play around with that and see where we go. So that's it. That's the stream. Thanks for coming tonight or this morning or wherever you are in the world. And I will see you guys